You think you know what the future of the global economy looks like, don't you? For decades, the narrative has been set in stone. The United States, Europe, and China, the unshakable pillars of commerce. But what if that story is already outdated? What if the next global economic superpower isn't a country we're all watching closely, but one that has been quietly preparing in the shadows? This isn't a theory or a prediction. It's a profound, undeniable shift that is happening right now, and it's happening in a place you might not expect: Mexico. From the sprawling factories in the north to the busy ports on two oceans, Mexico is experiencing an economic boom unlike any in its history, and it's poised to fundamentally reshape the world's supply chains. In just a moment, I'm going to reveal the powerful global trend that has placed Mexico at the very center of this new economic era, and why every major company is now rushing to set up shop there. But first, do me a favor, smash that like button, subscribe to Young Curiosity, and tell me in the comments what you think the biggest surprise about Mexico's economic transformation is. It's a question you'll want to answer by the time this video is over. The driving force behind Mexico's incredible economic acceleration is a global phenomenon known as nearshoring. This is the strategic relocation of manufacturing and production processes to a nearby country, bringing them closer to the final consumer market. For companies in the fro, U.S. and Europe, this means moving operations from distant, often politically volatile regions like China to a closer, more stable location like Mexico. The nearshoring trend has been supercharged by a series of seismic global events. First, the COVID-19 pandemic shattered the illusion of a seamless global economy. Widespread lockdowns and crippling shipping disruptions exposed the extreme fragility of long, complex supply chains that stretched across oceans. Companies realized they had to bring production closer to home to build resilience. Second, escalating geopolitical tensions between the U.S. and China have made companies deeply wary of relying so heavily on Chinese manufacturing. The constant threat of tariffs, trade disputes, and political instability has pushed companies to friendshore, moving their operations to countries that are political and economic allies. Third, the rising cost of labor in China and the surging cost of global shipping have made the economic argument for nearshoring to Mexico more compelling than ever. This powerful combination of factors has created a perfect storm of opportunity for Mexico. While nearshoring is the new buzzword, Mexico's role as a manufacturing powerhouse is not a new thing. For decades, the country has been a vital player in global supply chains, thanks to its strategic location and a series of intelligent trade agreements. The North American Free Trade Agreement, NAFTA, signed in 1994, was a game changer. It fundamentally integrated the economies of the U.S., Canada, and Mexico, turning Mexico into a key hub for manufacturing, particularly in the massive automotive industry. This integration has only deepened with the United States-Mexico-Canada Agreement, USMCA. This modern trade deal ensures tariff-free access to a massive market and provides a stable regulatory framework that is incredibly attractive to foreign investors. What makes this framework so unique is that it provides a level of security and predictability that companies simply cannot find in other parts of the world, particularly in Asia. The USMCA, along with Mexico's membership in other major agreements like the Comprehensive and Progressive Agreement for Trans-Pacific Partnership, CPTPP, gives the country an unmatched trade advantage, offering access to over 50 countries without the burden of high tariffs. This pre-existing, mature infrastructure for trade is the bedrock upon which Mexico's new economic era is being built. Can you believe how perfectly Mexico was positioned for this moment? Make sure you comment below and tell me what you think. The clearest and most powerful signal of this trend is the unprecedented surge in foreign direct investment, FDI. In recent years, Mexico has seen a record-breaking influx of foreign capital, with billions pouring in. While some of this is a predictable rebound from the pandemic, a huge portion is directly attributed to the nearshoring trend. Companies from the U.S., Asia, and Europe are investing billions in new factories and massive industrial parks, especially in the northern states bordering the U.S., but also in central Mexico. The investment is flowing into crucial sectors like the automotive, electronics, and aerospace industries. Titans of industry like Tesla, General Motors, and BMW are either building or expanding their manufacturing facilities in Mexico to produce vehicles and components for the North American market. In the electronics sector, manufacturers of everything from household appliances to high-tech computer parts are setting up shop to be closer to their U.S. consumers. Mexico's competitive labor costs, combined with its highly skilled workforce, including a rapidly growing number of engineering graduates, make it an incredibly attractive destination. It's a powerful one-two punch. The geographic proximity drastically reduces shipping costs and logistical hurdles, while the human capital and robust trade agreements ensure a seamless transition for production. The manufacturing wages in Mexico, while on the rise, remain competitive with or even lower than China's, making the economic argument for relocation even stronger. Just think about the time savings. Shipping from Mexico to the U.S. is a matter of days, not weeks or months, which slashes inventory costs and supercharges supply chain resilience. And if you're enjoying this deep dive, don't forget to give this video a big like and subscribe to the channel. But Mexico's path to becoming a global powerhouse is not a simple one, and it is certainly not without significant challenges. The country must address several key issues to fully capitalize on this historic opportunity. The first and most pressing is infrastructure. The massive influx of new manufacturing and investment is placing an immense strain on existing infrastructure, from the electricity and water supply to roads and ports. Many industrial parks, particularly in the northern border region, are at maximum occupancy, and the demand for new industrial space is soaring. The Mexican government must invest heavily and quickly in modernizing its power grid, water systems, and transportation networks to support this explosive growth. The second major challenge is security. High levels of crime and corruption in certain regions of the country can deter foreign investors and create a climate of uncertainty. While many manufacturing hubs are relatively safe and secure, the country's overall security situation is a persistent concern that must be addressed to attract the full scope of foreign investment that nearshoring promises. The third challenge is human capital. While Mexico has a young and growing workforce, it must continue to invest in education and training to ensure that its workers have the advanced skills needed for the high-tech, innovation-driven industries of the future. The country must transition from simply being a low-cost assembly location to a hub for high-value research and development. This requires a concerted effort from both the public and private sectors to develop a highly skilled and adaptable workforce. Another major challenge is the potential for a second China shock, where China, in an effort to maintain its global position, floods Mexico and other emerging economies with cheap goods, undercutting local industries and threatening to stifle their growth. Mexico has already begun to raise tariffs on Chinese imports in some sectors to protect its domestic manufacturers, but this is a complex and delicate balancing act that could jeopardize its trade relations. Mexico has a tremendous opportunity but also faces a daunting list of obstacles. I want to hear your thoughts. What do you think is the biggest obstacle to Mexico's economic rise? Its infrastructure or its security? Let me know in the comments below. And don't forget to share your perspective with everyone else. In conclusion, Mexico is on the verge of a historic economic transformation, a profound shift driven by its unique geopolitical position, its favorable and stable trade agreements, and the powerful global trend of nearshoring. The country is no longer just a backdrop for global manufacturing. It is rapidly becoming a central player, a crucial and indispensable link in the new, more resilient global supply chains that the world demands. As major corporations and governments reevaluate their reliance on a single, distant manufacturing hub, Mexico is perfectly positioned to emerge as a new economic powerhouse. While significant challenges remain, from overstrained infrastructure to security concerns, the opportunity is truly immense. The rise of this new titan is a powerful testament to the idea that, in a changing world, a country's greatest strength can be its geography and its ability to intelligently adapt to a new economic reality. It's the compelling story of a quiet giant that is finally waking up, and the world is not just taking notice, it's investing in its future. Before you go, make sure you've liked this video, subscribed to Young Curiosity, and commented on your biggest takeaway. Your engagement helps us keep bringing you these deep dives. Thanks for watching, and don't stop being curious.